heartbreaking 54-52 loss to Carrington and a couple of free throws with 3 seconds left. And I don't think I've ever seen that much of an outpour of emotion from one basketball team following a loss. I mean, this young team was just absolutely crushed following that loss, and be interesting to see how they bounce back and how quickly they bounce back in tonight's game.
Yeah, this is true, Dan. You know, this is also a situation where, you know, Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg, yeah, they lost a heartbreaker. It will be interesting to see how they do bounce back. The big thing about the team is every, you know, letter jacket that I saw last night had 97 and 98 on there. You know they're not graduating for about 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if you're doing tournaments in the future, Rory, I'll give you my scorebook. And all you need to do is turn to this page because you'll have the Mayport-CG lineup all set for you with the exception of Dan Swift. The state is going to hear a lot from Mayport-CG over the next 2 years.
The head coach for Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg is Del Kessler. The head coach for the Halliday Wolverines is Dave Steckler. Steckler in his first year, Kessler in his 14th year. Halliday versus Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg. This is the third place game at the North Dakota State B-Boys Basketball Tournament.
We've talked about the youth movement of Mayport-CG in their starting lineup. 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and a senior. And their top 3 reserves are all underclassmen, a freshman, a sophomore, and a junior.
They go 6'6", 6'4", 6'4", 6'4", and 6'2". Big lineup. Halliday in the white. And it's Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg in their red jerseys. We are tipping it off, and we are underway, and Halliday controls. Luke Morris would like to have a good game today. He's somewhat struggled in the last 2 games, but there's Jeremy Nodland. He's the big man for Halliday in a way, a big guy inside, and they would certainly like to see him step up as well. An errant pass goes out of bounds, and Halliday catches a break right away as this third-place game is just 15 seconds old.
Andrew LeClaire gets the defensive assignment on Doug Swenson. LeClaire giving away a couple inches. 6'8" Swenson and the 6'6" LeClaire.
You touched on Dan Swift. There he is, number 52. He's the lone senior on this team, a big, big leader on the Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg team. I talked to him today, and yeah, definitely upset about the situation last night, but you know, hey, he knows that this his alma mater will certainly be back in the state championship probably next year and probably for the next coming years. And there's big Doug Swinson. Doug Swinson makes 2 for Halliday, and Halliday leads it 2-0. But back comes Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg, and a very nice drive in there by Tom Jacobson. So Tom Jacobson sets it right up, and here's Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg. They said they were going to run. They said they were going to press, and there's a full-court press, and Jeremy Nodland breaks that press, and Halliday sets it back up. Luke Morris on the top of the key. Nodland at the top of the key, 15 feet out, over to Morris. Morris drives the lane, foul in there on number 40. That is Doug Swinson.
Well, you mentioned Luke Morris, 6'1" junior. He has struggled a bit in the tournament. He had 8 points yesterday, 2 points on Thursday, and he'll go to the free throw line.
But he's the assist leader on this team, Dan. Hey, 10 points, 8 assists for the tournament, as you mentioned. Needs to get more involved tonight, no doubt about it, and especially with the tall lineup that Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg has to offer, he's definitely going to have to be the main spark plug there for the Halliday Wolverines. His first shot's no good. We are tied at 2 all, 6:55 to go in this first quarter of the State B basketball third-place game. Of course, later on, we'll have the championship tilt between Carrington and Grenora. So both free throws are no good. Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg driving. That's going to go off the leg of Tom Jacobson. And everybody's scrambling for the ball, and Halliday comes away with it. That's Nodland. Luke Morris says, let's set this up for the Halliday Wolverines. Tied at 2 all. There's Doug Swinson, turnaround jumper. Shot no good off the front iron, and here comes Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg.
Mayport-CG has really been trying to force the issue quickly down the court. They haven't been wasting much time in their half-court offense. As you said, they want the tempo up tonight.
There's what Dan Swift does best, his little bread and butter, the sideline Jay. Good hustle in there by Jacobson, but it's still going to go Halliday's way. Full court press. This will be a pretty fun game to watch, Dan, just for the fact that Mayville-Portland-Clifford-Galesburg, here's all these tall kids, and you can watch them, run up and down the court, and you can see these kids develop. One thing that I talked with Dale Kessler about today as well is that the head coach for Mayville-Portland-Clifford-Galesburg is that, hey, he saw this young team grow by leaps and bounds this year, and you certainly think that they grew by leaps and bounds just by in the tournament alone. Big play by Doug Swinson. Doug Swinson gets 2 more for Halliday, and we are tied at 4-all. 5:55 to go in this first quarter of play.
Mayville-PCG has been its best when it's been able to play the up-tempo game, utilize full court pressure. There have been many games this season in which they've had leads of 13-2 and 15-2 early in the game.
Big Doug Swinson with yet another block shot. He has over 100 block shots for the season.
He is really having an outstanding tournament on both ends of the court. Look at that. I like this kid. Shows a lot of emotion, wears it on his sleeve, and he's a fiery competitor.
Well, when talking with Steckler about him, it's kind of like he's nice 3-point shot for Mayville-Clifford-Galesburg, and they go up by 3 just like that, and the pressure keeps coming by Mayville-Clifford-Galesburg. Nice defense by Jacobson, but Jeremy Nodland breaks the press. Nice. Luke Morris swinging it right. Jeremy Nodland, 15 feet out, no good. He's going to get fouled on the play by Mayport's Darren Claybo. Nope. Is that on Darren Claybo?
Well, defensively that time, you may have noticed from the backboard cam, number 50, Tom Jacobson had sagged all the way down in the paint, showing no respect whatever for Luke Morris. Morris was left all alone on the perimeter. And Jacobson's going to do that. Unless Morris hits a few shots, he'll be able to cheat and help out defensively on Doug Swinson.
Matt Swift in the lineup for Mayville-Clifford-Galesburg. That's Jeremy Nodland. A good look at Jeremy Nodland, a 6'4 junior. 13 points, 6 boards in is what he's averaging for the tournament. 19 points in that first round game.
Yeah, that front line of Halliday really chewed up Ream in the opening round. Swinson had 23, Nodland had 19, and Watson had 14 in that game.
Boy, Mayport is really pushing the ball hard. Pushing the ball hard, but that mistake will go Halliday's way. And boy, Mayport, look at this, full court pressure, and we're not even 3 minutes old in this first quarter. This is going to be a fun game, and it has been a fun game so far. Luke Morris all by himself needs a little help. He goes to Nodland across court, and that's going to be a foul on Jeremy Masakovic. Masakovic picks up his first foul. Halliday's got the ball at the half-court line.
Number 40, Masakovic, second personal.
Nodland being guarded in there by Tom Jacobson, all 6'4 of him. Inside to Swinson. There he is inside the paint. He loses the handle. And it's going to stay Halliday's way.
Pretty headsy play that time by Mayville-PCG's Jeremy Masakovic. He was able to retain possession for his team as he played it off the body of Doug Swinson.
Chuck Claybo in the lineup for Mayville-PCG. 3-pointer by Morris. No good, nothing but air. Big rebound by Dan Swift. And here comes Mayville-Clifford-Galesburg. Inside the paint, LeClaire. LeClaire shot's no good, but nice rebound. And 2 points for Andrew LeClaire, who hasn't been feeling too good today.
Had a temperature of about 103 a few hours before the game, but he said he was feeling a little bit better in warm-ups.
Nice drive inside the paint by Luke Morris, and it looks like he's down, but he's okay. I thought he may have twisted his ankle. Dan Swift back for Mayport. Mayville-PCG's Dan Swift off the glass, no good. Rebound, Swinson loses a handle, so trying to get the ball back. Halliday will have possession.
Mayport-CG has done a nice job in the offensive boards, I think, in this tournament. Last night, they did a real good job against Carrington. Tonight already, they've had a couple of second chances.
You know, something about those boards, Dan, is I think these kids, you know, they still are kids. They're still learning. I think that they were putting up a lot of shots yesterday, and they were just, you know, I think they might have been scared, and they were just putting them hard off the goal. And, well, when you're 6'4" and 6'6" and 6'4" and 6'4", you can get a lot of rebounds, a lot of offensive boards, and that's definitely paid off for Mayport-CG, definitely in the tournament, Dan. Picks up the loose ball, swings it over to Swinson, and Swinson just steps up and hits nothing but net from about 8 feet out. Swinson can hit those outside jumpers. He can go inside as well as outside. He made the move this year from the forward position to the center position, and Swinson comes up with the loose ball there. Luke Morris sets up the offense for Halliday. Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg leads it 9-8, 3:39 to go in this first quarter. Mayport with a zone, somewhat of a zone. I guess it's not a zone, that's a man. Is that a man or a zone? That's a zone. Luke Morris at the top of the key, trying to swing it into Swinson. Morris being pressured hard in there. Nice shot by Jeremy Nodland. Actually, it wasn't a nice shot. He was kind of falling off balance, kind of forced the shot a little bit.
Well, he was being played real physically, defensively, and did force the shot a little bit. A real tough shot because he was off balance.
Charging violation. Charge on big Andrew LeClaire. That's a tough call for Andrew LeClaire, but he's got a big situation in there where he's got a big 6'8" guy on him, and you can see the shoulder kind of comes out, and that's going to be a foul on Andrew LeClaire. He takes the charge, and we are 9-8 in favor of Mayport-CG. Your Minot State Dome, Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg leads the third place game 9-8, and they come back with that full court press. They're going to be running up and down the court on this third place game. Jeremy Nodland's outlet pass will go errant. Andrew LeClaire picking up the big defensive move.
A couple of substitutions for Mayport-CG. Brian Halverson and Chuck Clable into the lineup.
Good pressure defense by Mayport-CG, but Jeremy Nodland snaps it, and he's got a wide open man. Swinson inside the paint. No good. Gets the rebound and in for two. Swinson was open for actually quite a while, Dan, and they finally fed it inside to big Doug Swinson, and he makes good for two.
And he has 8 of Halliday's 10 points and all 4 of their field goals. So another strong start for Doug Swinson.
Matt Swift inside the lane, gets the iron and gets it to go. Matt Swift penetrates inside the lane and gets Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg for two.
Mayport-CG is the most balanced team in the tournament. 6 players scoring between 7 and 13 points. And already tonight they have 5 players who have scored.
And we're going up and down the court fairly quickly here in this first quarter. Tom Jacobson for 3. Oh, and he doesn't get it to go, and a big rebound in there by Doug Swinson.
Swinson had 21 rebounds Thursday, 8 blocked shots, and 23 points.
Man, he's a big guy. He can get the job done. I saw a card flash over on Halliday's bench. It said special. Let's see what that special's all about. Right side, no good. Rebound Swinson, blocked in there by Jacobson. Jacobson at 6'4", blocks 6'8", Doug Swinson.
Swinson had a surprised look to his face, and I guess so. I don't think he's had too many of his shots blocked this season.
Jacobson, the guard on the team, at 6'4". Halverson can't get it to go. Way outside is Matt Swift, and that's a three-pointer for Matt Swift. Big lift by Matt Swift. It's 14-10, Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg. Halliday sets it up. They've done that all tournament long. They have a very controlled offense. They take their time. Inside to Doug Swinson. Swinson swings it back outside. Chris Wassam.
He talked about the controlled offense. Halliday has not attempted very many field goals in this tournament. They put up 42 shots yesterday, 38 on Thursday. So when you consider Rame put up 81 shots in one game alone on Thursday, a very conservative approach. And that's a change this year. Dave Steckler implemented that change as opposed to a year ago when this team came to the state tournament and played a very much up-tempo game. But he wanted to utilize his big front line and play a very half-court game this year.
Swinson gets it back outside to Luke Morris. Morris across court. Back to Morris. Morris for three. No good. Rebound. Chris Geetson. Chris Geetson for two. Geetson, a senior on this team. He stands 6'3". He got the starting nod today. He's a senior, and Coach Steckler said, hey, he's a senior. We're going to start him and let him play.
Doug Swinson just loves ripping those rebounds down. He gets his big elbows out there and his big wingspan and just rips them down.
And Steckler certainly likes to see that aggressive play by his 6'8" senior. Big boards inside. No one's cooperating, and the ball's not cooperating, rather, and it's not going in. Big Del Kessler. Del Kessler, the head coach. There's Dave Steckler. Halliday with the ball underneath their basket. Way up top. The right side kind of spreading out the offense a little bit. Jump ball. Possession arrow is going to go Mayport-CG. Mayport-CG has a 2-point lead with 7.2 seconds to go. There you see the time, and the clock is not going. Oh, I didn't pick up the ball yet. Makes sense. Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg's three-point attempt does not fall. And we are 1 quarter in the books of this third-place game at the State B. It's Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg 14, Halliday 12. You're watching the State B on NBC.
Huddle head coach Del Kessler really got his team to, one, take the charge defensively. He feels his team could do that a little bit better. Two, box out a little better. Those were his two main points of emphasis. He also wanted his team to continue to run if they had the break opportunity, but if not, hey, set it up, run the offense, we'll get a good shot.
Thank you very much, Brett. Appreciate that. Luke Morris ties the game up. Luke Morris with a nice sweet two-pointer. Tom Jacobson showing his dribbling ability, splits the defense, and that's going to be a foul on Halliday. Jeremy Nodland, I believe. That's going to be a foul on Jeremy Nodland, and Jeremy saying, hey, what did I do? I was just scraping after the ball.
Mayport-CG 6 of 12 in the first quarter. Halliday 5 of 18. That's a lot of shots for Halliday. 18 shots in 1 quarter when you consider they only put up 42 for the game yesterday.
Tie game, 14-all, 7:40 to go in this second quarter. Mayport on the top of the key, swinging it off to the right, and that shot's no good, but a big tip in there by Andrew LeClaire. Andrew LeClaire makes good for two, and he's hacked in the act in the process.
LeClaire on the offensive boards, and this is timing, and he times it perfectly. Goes up and tips it in, and he'll try to finish the three-point play. He certainly had a fine game last night, finished with 13 points, didn't shoot particularly well from the field. In last night's game, people around Minot and the state still buzzing about that 54-52 Carrington win. A classic matchup last night, a game that was decided in the waning seconds, and it was like a couple of heavyweights, wasn't it, Rory? Because one team would deliver a punch and stun the other, and the other would pick itself up and deliver its own punch.
You know, one thing about that game, too, Dan, I'm sure we'll talk more in depth about it later, but great defensive game as well. Here's Halliday, and that's going to be good for Chris Geetson. Chris Geetson is good from 15 feet out. Mayport-CG sets up the offense. They go right inside to Andrew LeClaire, and that's a big block by Doug Swinson.
Well, LeClaire took it right to him. Swinson had his arms up in the air. LeClaire turned and shot it.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him today.
You know, sometimes that's the best approach, and you've got a guy like that go directly at him. Go aggressive against the shot blocker.
Swift off to, that is Swift. Matt Swift makes good for three.
Well, see instant offense off the bench from Mayport-CG. 8 in this game, and if you remember back on Thursday, he came in and nailed three three-pointers, which really sparked the Patriots.
Patriots lead at 20-16, 6:44 in this second quarter. Third place game of the State B. Jeremy Nodland inside the paint, loses the handle, and it's going to be kicked out of bounds by Andrew LeClaire. Jeremy Nodland takes the ball out of bounds. Into the lineup, Tom Jacobson for the Patriots. Darren Clabo takes a seat. Halliday down by 4. Luke Morris sets the offense. Great defensive play by Matt Swift.
Swift kind of anticipated and I think read the eyes of Luke Morris on that play and was able to step in and bat it out of bounds.
It helps a little bit when you got some quickness that he has, and that paid off there. Halliday, Geetson, no good. They kick it back outside. They set the offense. Luke Morris, that's going to be a foul on Tom Jacobson. Kind of slapped him there a little bit, and he gets called for the foul. Tom not too happy about that. It's kind of a bad situation for him to be in that type of situation when you're just reaching in there and getting a call to foul and something like that. But that's only his first. It's okay. Or second, rather.
More importantly, it's a 7th team foul on Mayport-CG, so Halliday is in the bonus situation with 6:16 to play. Just 2 team fouls on Halliday to this stage.
Luke Morris at the line for the Halliday, 6-foot junior. He's the assist leader on this team. He has 10 points, 8 assists for the tournament. Jeremy Nodland with the rebound, and that's going to be blocked in there.
Well, certainly when Dan Swift goes up and tries to block a shot, it's wise to cover your face. This guy delivers a pretty powerful punch. You saw it last night. Robbie March received one of Dan Swift's blows, and this time it's Nodland who was battling underneath, and he gets a trip to the free throw line.
Dan Swift making his mark at the state booth. Nodland makes good for his first one. Hardest working player Steckler has ever coached. Jeremy with 2 big free throws here in the second quarter. Tom Jacobson on top for Mayport-CG. Over to Dan Swift for 3. He can make those, but if that one doesn't fall, Swift with a nice rebound and a foul on Andrew LeClaire. LeClaire over the back of Swinson.
Swinson had good position on the defensive boards and kept it alive on the first time, and then was able to corral it on the second time to grab the ball. And LeClaire now picks up his second foul. He's been riddled with a little foul problems in the state tournament.
You touched on Doug Swinson a little bit earlier, Dan, and he is your 3rd leading scorer in this tournament. 6'8" senior, the lone senior playing he would certainly like to go out a winner in this game. Winston's first shot is good, and free throws have brought Halliday within 1, 20-19, 6:02 to go in the second quarter. There's a beautiful shot we've brought to you this State B, and what a great shot that is. And that one's going to be nothing but net. We are tied at 20 all.
7 of 8 from the free throw line are the Wolverines to this stage.
Mayport-CG pushing the ball down. That's Tom Jacobson. Jacobson to Swift. Swift with a nice pass inside. Nice play inside. Tom Jacobson. Halliday doing a great job as far as breaking the press, but that's a big play by Tom Jacobson, and he just takes it to the hoop, and he doesn't connect.
Well, it really wasn't a great job of Halliday of breaking the press, because the last guy you want bringing the basketball up the court on the dribble is the 6'8" guy, and they turned it over in that situation. So if they're going to involve Doug Swinson in breaking the press, they want him in the middle where he can grab the ball, see the court well, and try to break the press from there.
Mayport-CG leads it by 2, 5:29 to go in the second quarter. You're watching the State B on the Meyer Television Network.
Forced Halliday into a turnover on its last possession, and Doug Swinson does a lot for this team, but one role he is not called on is to be a press breaker. And there he turns it over as Jacobson came up with the steal.
Halliday on the offensive end. Almost swung it inside to Swinson, but opted to go elsewhere.
Mayport-CG has really pushed its defense out. Now they're pressuring the perimeter much more than they did in the first quarter.
Morris with the nice pass inside. Swinson can't find the handle, and here comes Matt Swift for Mayport-CG. He's going to pull it up, goes board, nothing. Rebound, Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg, nothing. And here we go again with those rebounds by Mayport-CG. That ball will go. I can't call this. Holy cow, guys. Let's take your time there. Okay, here we go. Mayport sets it up after a wild array of missed blocks and miss opportunities. Mayport-CG. Chuck Claybo's pass will go errant, and
must be some oil on the basketball or something. Nobody can get a grasp of the thing.
Butterfingers or something here, yeah. Jeremy Nodland for Halliday. Luke Morris now with the ball for the Halliday Wolverines. Swenson down. Back to Morris. Swenson steps up, 17 feet out. Count that one, and you can put that one in the book for Doug Swenson.
12 in the game for Doug Swenson.
Mayport-CG steps it right back. We're tied at 22 all. Great game, a great possession game so far. LeClaire inside, big block, but he gets his own block, and that's good hustle right there by Andrew LeClaire.
No doubt about it. LeClaire gets it blocked, stays with it, and is able to follow his own miss.
Mayport-CG up by 2. Good defense by Swift. Morris inside to Swenson. Swenson with this big swing pass over there to Geetson. No good. Rebound, Andrew LeClaire, and Mayport-CG brings it back up on the offensive end.
Well, the Patriots with that zone defense, again, is making Halliday beat them from the perimeter because they're really collapsing on Doug Swenson. A tag on the ragged side.
Darren Claybo checks into the lineup for Mayport-CG, as does Travis Kraft. Darren Claybo will take it out for Mayport-CG. Halliday sets up in their zone. Going to run a play here, it looks like. Jacobson penetrates, goes left, then goes right. Darren Claybo for 3. Claybo took advantage of the defense, spotted up and hit nothing but net. Mayport-CG with a 5-point lead. Doug Swenson inside the paint. Count that one plus the foul. That's Chris Wassam. Well, you make a good play on one end, and then you slack off a little bit on defense, and that's what will happen. Chris Wassam took advantage of that and goes inside for the bucket. Swenson, of course, penetrating well, and a no-look pass to Swenson, or to Wassam, and Wassam makes good for 2. Wassam, 18 points for the tournament. The usual starter on this team. He is the usual starter. Of course, he didn't get the starting nod today. 6'2" sophomore.
That was the 3rd foul, by the way, on Andrew LeClaire.
Proved to be key later on. Jeremy Nodland with a big offensive board there. Mayport-CG not coming up with the board there. Luke Morris for 3. Yes! Luke Morris steps up and hits a 3, and it's a 1-point game. Tom Jacobson, that's a 2-pointer. His foot was on the line. So we're switching buckets. Back and forth we go. Mayport-CG up by 3. Hey, that even rhymes, Dan. Luke Morris over to Swenson. Swenson drives baseline hard, dumps it off to Jeremy Nodland. Nodland with the left-handed hook, and that goes in for 2.
Hey, how about the playmaking guard, Doug Swenson, huh? 2 times down the court. He's been very unselfish, setting up his teammates.
Oh, bringing that into the land of the Giants. Look out, Brian Halverson. Boy, you know, when he brings it in there, he's the shortest guy on the lineup. The shortest guy in the lineup right now. We're out on the floor, all 5'10" of him. Brian Halverson, meet 6'8" Doug Swenson, as well as Chris Geetson. He's 6'3".
Well, Swenson fanned on the block. It looked like he'd have an easy block, and he just missed it.
Well, you know, earlier we said that Mayport-CG was going to run the ball a little bit, and Dell said that he would like to get a lot of players in. Well, Brian Halverson has checked in, and we're going to see a lot of players for Mayport-CG play in this game. And we're going to take a break. It's 31-28, Mayport-CG. You're watching the State B on NBC. Dan Hammer, Brett Garland, John Cole, all the action for you. That's a foul on, oh, that's a big foul on Tom Jacobson. I believe that is number 3.
Number 58, Tom Jacobson, third personal.
Tom Jacobson stepping up here, and, you know, he just comes right in on Halliday's Chris Wassam.
It is the third on Jacobson. Andrew LeClaire also has 3.
Chris Geetson got the start tonight. He averages 6 a game, 3 rebounds a game.
Swenson with the offensive board and the follow.
Big bucket. We got a 1-point game. We got a great game going here, everybody.
14 for Doug Swenson. Handful of rebounds already.
Luke Morris. Geetson to Swenson. Swenson can't find a man, forces the shot, but Nodlin picks up the garbage and picks up the foul, and looks like LeClaire got busted in the nose a little bit.
Number 24, Matt Swift, first personal.
I think he got hit in the mouth.
And it's Matt Swift that's down.
Matt Swift. Matt Swift, a 6'4" sophomore for Mayport-CG. Here's a replay of this play. There you see. I guess when he comes down, there it is right there. Looked like Nodlin's left arm kind of swept across his face there. Good free throw shooting by Halliday. In fact, the free throw shooting has definitely kept Halliday in this game. Tied at 31-all, 1:17 to go. And Nodlin knocks down 2 to give Halliday a 1-point lead.
Nodlin making hay at the free throw line tonight, 6 for 6.
Matt Swift goes left. They go inside to Dan Swift. Dan Swift back out on top. That's Brian Halverson. No good. Big rebound by Swenson. Halliday sets it up. I believe they're going to go for 1 shot. Maybe not. Let's just go inside to Jeremy Nodlin. Nodlin with a pretty pass. And that's going to be a foul. Doug Swenson will go to the line. Swift will pick up the foul. Swenson will go to the line.
Doug Swenson free along the baseline, takes it hard, and that's 6'8" against a very physical 6'2" Dan Swift. And Dan Swift now with 3. So Mayport-CG has some foul problems. Swift, Jacobson, and Claire all with 3.
Swenson hits the iron and comes off. Doug Swenson, what a great power move that was, though. You know, I'm sure Steckler likes to see him take it hard to the hoop, and that's exactly what he did. And he picked up the foul, and Swenson is 0 for 2 from the line. Good hustle in there by Halliday, and they recover and pick up the ball. There's Geetson. Geetson with an errant pass, and good hustle by Mayport-CG.
Did you see that pass? Right between the legs. Between the legs of Darren Clable, he threaded that.
Halliday up by 1. Less than 35 seconds. There you see the clock. Playing for the last shot.
Now, Halliday has kept this game pretty much in the tempo that it's like. It hasn't really turned into a track meet like Mayport CG was hoping.
Luke Morris right inside to Chris Geetson. The shot is no good. Out of bounds.
Oh, they certainly got the shot they wanted. A couple feet inside the free throw line, just rimmed out.
And Halliday with a full court press with 4.3 seconds to go.
Well, they don't want to give Mayport CG anything easy here.
Off to the side, and that's going to be good. Steve Gershevsky. Gershevsky makes good for 2 to give Mayport CG a 1-point lead at the half of this third-place game. Let's go to John now with Dave Steckler. John?
Dave, tight first half. You got to be pleased, perhaps up until the last moment right there. Club's playing well.
Well, yeah, I'm happy. I think a lot of people thought we couldn't play with Mayville. And, I'm showing that, hey, I told the kids, when we came out on the court, hey, let's show them that we can. And I'm proud of the kids. They're playing hard. They're taking them to the hole. We're getting them in foul trouble, and that's what we wanted to do.
I don't think there's too many people in the West, though your regional thought that way, Coach.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, it's all right.
All right, thanks a lot. Go get them in the second half.
All right, thank you very much, John. Steve Gershevsky, a 6'1" sophomore, steps up for Mayport CG, puts down the 2 as we are at halftime of this third-place game. Mayport CG leads it by 1. We'll be right back with more from the State B. Welcome back to the Minot State Dome. This is the third-place game between Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg and Halliday. Earlier today in the Consolation Championship, Oaks was a winner over Litchfield-Marion-Montpelier, 77-74 in overtime. And here's your first half stats from this game. 46% for Mayport and 43% for Halliday.
Halliday shot pretty well in the second quarter, 7 of 13. They went to the free throw line 12 more times than Mayport CG, but only hit 8 of 15.
Well, they're over 50%, and that's what's kept them in the game so far. No doubt about that, Dan. Halliday with 18 rebounds, as does Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg. Mayport CG also has 8 turnovers.
Individually, Doug Swenson with 14 in the first half. He was 6 of 9 from the field, also 7 rebounds, a couple of block shots. Matt Swift came off the bench to lead Mayport CG with 8, and the stat you won't see there, and one that will definitely be a factor the rest of the way, Andrew LeClaire, Tom Jacobson, and Dan Swift, all with 3 fouls.
Big key, and another stat you don't see there is Andrew LeClaire had 7 rebounds in the first half, and how can a guy be sleeping at the State B basketball tournament?
Well, you know what? He's getting geared up for the title
championship game.
He might be a Grenora Gopher fan or a Carrington fan and get rest while he can.
All right, let's toss it over to Brett.
Thank you very much, Del Kessler. After that tough loss last night, I thought your kids came out and played hard that first half. Pleased with the effort so far?
Well, I was pleased with the effort. I wasn't real pleased with the way we've been, making our decisions. We've been making some bad decisions on offense, and then on defense, we haven't been boxing out very well, and they've been taking the ball to the basket, and we're in a bunch of foul trouble right now. So hopefully the second half, we're going to try and slow the pace a little bit so our kids don't get in any more foul trouble and try and pull this one out.
Del, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Guys, back to you.
Del Kessler, in his 14th year as head coach, attended Valley City State and played on 2 NDCAC championship teams in 1970 and 1971. Back with more from the third place game between Mayport CG and Halliday right after this. State B, Dan, I've heard you like a challenge. I'm going to give you a challenge right now. Championship game, Grenora, Carrington, your thoughts?
Well, again, it comes down to Hunter Berg and how well he'll be able to control the tempo of the game. He has done that the first 2 days of the tournament, and it also comes down to how Grenora will be able to defend Jim Kleinsasser at 6'4", and also Aaron Wick at 6'7". I think those are the keys to the game.
We'll bring you that game after the conclusion of this third place game. The third quarter is getting ready to get underway. Mayport CG up by 1. A real barn burner of a game. It's been a tight battle all the way through.
And certainly there's a change in strategy for Mayport CG, as we heard from Del Kessler, because of the foul trouble his team is in. They're going to slow it down a little bit, play more of a half-court game.
Quavo penetrates 14 feet out, no good. Jeremy Nodland with the rebound for the Halliday Wolverine.
And that's exactly what Halliday wants. They wanted this to be a half-court game.
Luke Morris controls it for, and an errant pass goes Dan Swift, and Dan Swift stepped out of bounds. There's some of that quickness by Dan Swift. He's a big fella. He's going to go to Mayville State next year. Going to punt for the football team as well as play baseball for Mayville State. Halliday inside the paint. Chris Wasson gets taken away. Mayport-CG on the run. Early in this third quarter, nice feed inside by Dan Swift to Andrew LeClaire. Dan Swift getting a couple people sucked in on him, and he just dishes right off to LeClaire, and LeClaire makes good for 2 for Mayport-CG, and they lead by 3. Jeremy Nodlin with a nice move inside the paint, and he goes glass for 2.
Nodlin just stepped inside that defense, sandwiched himself between the double team.
And Nodlin comes up with a nice steal, but it goes right back to Mayport-CG. Tom Jacobson. What kind of offense are we running, Coach? Going left. Quavo back out on top. That's Andrew LeClaire with the ball. Inside the paint to Andrew LeClaire. LeClaire over Swinson, but Swinson picks up the rebound. Doug Swinson's going to have to be a little more intense this half in order for Halliday to come through. Swinson being double teamed from the 15-point stripe. Good defensive play by Mayport-CG.
Mayport-CG at a couple of times this season has had to be a little more patient in the offensive end against Fortville-Lankin in tournament action, and also against Hillsboro in the region title game. They were called upon to do that.
Good penetration by Tom Jacobson, and Tom Jacobson has given Mayport-CG a 3-point lead. I like when Tom Jacobson penetrates because he really makes things happen in there. Swinson from 14 feet, no good. Rebound, Jacobson. Jacobson left to Swift. Swift all alone by himself, and you can't do that to Dan Swift because he'll hurt you, and he goes glass for 2 for Mayport-CG. We have a timeout, and we'll take one as well. Mayport-CG leads it by 5. You're watching the state feed.
Halliday's Jeremy Nodlin, number 42, gamble a bit, go for the steal. And when he does that, Swift just steps inside and knocks down the 12-footer.
Mayport-CG up by 5. Halliday with the ball. Luke Morris off to the side. Wasson back to Morris. Morris over to Geetson. Geetson back to Morris. A little swing pass and not a good decision by Luke Morris, and you certainly don't see that a lot by Luke Morris, and I think they were just not on the same page inside the paint. Mayport-CG back outside. Darren Clabo's shot's no good, and Swinson comes down with the ball. Morris trying to make things happen for Halliday. He's your assist leader on that team. A bad shot by Morris, but falling off balance is Jeremy Nodland, and he gets it to go.
As you said, off balance, he was falling to the court, and it was more of a desperation heave than anything, and it banked in high off the glass.
Swift showing his ability, but that one goes hard off the glass, and here comes Halliday. Halliday with a long pass that's going to go out of bounds, but they save it. And it's still going to go Mayport-CG's way. Good hustle by Halliday, but Mayport-CG gets the ball. Into the lineup for Mayport-CG is Matt Swift, a 6'4" sophomore.
Swift came off the bench in the first half, scored 8 points and a couple of three-pointers.
Swift sets it up. Zone for Halliday. Swift for 3. No good off the iron. Rebound. I thought they had 2 Mayport-CG guys there, Andrew LeClaire and Masakovic, but they couldn't bring down the rebound, and it's a 3-point game. Mayport-CG up by 3. Morris, right side, steps up for 3. That's partially blocked by Swift. Swift running down the sideline. They don't get it to him. They're going to take their time, and here comes Tom Jacobson for Mayport-CG. Tom Jacobson just steps up. Give me the opening. I'll take the shot, and Tom Jacobson goes good for 2 from 15 feet out.
Jacobson in double figures in the game now. He has 10.
Halliday works it around. Swinson inside, and you know that's a given when that ball goes in there, and that's going to be 2 points plus the foul. A foul on Masakovic.
Well, if you saw what happened, he was at the right place at the right time, because the pass, as you will see here, hits the backboard, bounces right to Doug, and he lays it in.
Merry Christmas, Doug Swinson.
Quite a role reversal this year for Doug Swinson. Spent most of his time on the perimeter last year for Halliday. Attempted 73-point field goal attempts. But when Ryan Perhus graduated, that left the middle open, and Doug Swinson had to fill that void this year, and he's done so nicely.
Halliday has brought it to a 2-point game. 41-39, Mayport-CG. This is the third-place game at the State B.
Some phantom defense there. Played one step, but didn't try to contest the shot at all.
Mayport-CG up by 2 in this third-place game of the State B. Jacobson needs some help, and he gets it off to Jeremy Masakovic. Masakovic back over to Matt Swift. Matt Swift to Dan Swift. Dan Swift said, "I'll take that shot, and you can't leave me alone that that one doesn't fall." Granora. I'm already in the championship game, Dan. Halliday brings it up, could either tie or take a lead if a three-pointer goes Halliday's way. Morris, and they go off to the side. Good swing passing in there. Morris penetrates. Morris again. And Chris Geetson's shot's no good. A big rebound by Jeremy Nodlin. Nodlin keeps it alive for Halliday. Swinson from way outside. That's a three-pointer, and it's in and out. Another nice rebound. And here we go again. Nodlin picks it up for Halliday. Halliday, good possession, keeping the ball alive. There's Swinson back outside, and Swinson's pass goes right into Dan Swift's hands, and here come the Patriots. Halliday will definitely have to be more aggressive on the defensive end, and that's a pretty play in there by Tom Jacobson. Coming from a sophomore, you got to like to see that. You got to like to see that.
Spinning one-hander, and as you touched on a little bit ago, he's become much more aggressive, penetrating with the basketball here in the third quarter. 6 1/4 for Jacobson.
The right place at the right time was Chris Geetson. His shot's no good. And a foul on Dan Swift.
Halliday is getting plenty of second opportunities, but they just aren't converting on those opportunities.
Into the Halliday lineup will be Chris Leidy. Andrew LeClaire checks in for the Patriots, as does Robert Fiske. No, check that. Andy Strand. Mayport-CG leads at 43-39, 1:12 to go in this third quarter of the third-place game. Stick around. We got a great championship for you coming up right after this game.
The substitutions come on the heels of the 4th foul on Dan Swift.
Dan knew right away he had his 4th foul. He kind of just walked right over to the bench. He'll have to stay on the bench, definitely for the rest of this quarter, and more than likely a little bit of the 4th as well. Luke Morris steps up 17 feet out. No good. He falls to the ground. A good rebound by Halliday's Chris Leidy, and he just steps into the lineup, and he steps up and hits a 2.
But again, it comes off a second chance. And I know Del Kessler, during the break between the third and fourth quarter, is going to talk about trying to shore things up on the defensive boards a little bit.
Jacobson. Andy Strand, who just checked into the lineup. Good block in there by Swinson. That's Andy Strand again. That's not Andy Strand. Check that. That was Darren Clabo. There's Darren Clabo again, penetrating right, and he's going to be called with a foul. He won't be called with a foul, but Luke Morris will be called with a foul. Mayport-CG up by 2. 14.5 seconds to go in this third quarter. Let's see what Mayport-CG does. Andy Strand over to Jacobson. Jacobson showing his dribbling ability. Left hand, no good. And he better pump that one up. Darren Clabo, no good. Save. And we are through 3 quarters complete. We only have 1 quarter to go in this third place game at the State B. It's Mayport-CG 43, Halliday 41.
Folks, Dave Steckler told his young people they have to get much more physical in the remaining 8 minutes here against Mayville-Portland. So look for them to get much more physical. Guys?
Well, I think it was mission accomplished for Mayport-CG in that quarter because they wanted to slow it down. They did. It was a low-scoring quarter, 10-9 in favor of Mayport-CG, and they were able to maintain the lead. And Tom Jacobson and Andy LeClaire were able to play without picking up their 4th foul.
Halliday in this 4th quarter. Chris Leidy. Chris Wassam back to Leidy. Leidy, and not a good pass inside. A foul. A foul on Halliday, and Mayport-CG will get the ball out of bounds. Dave Steckler shaking his head saying, what's going on here?
And he was a little upset that time with the offensive series by his team. Through 3 quarters, Halliday shooting 39%, Mayport 43%. Halliday has a big edge on the boards, an 8-rebound margin.
Tom Jacobson stepping it up for the Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg Patriots.
He's having a fine second half. 8 of his 14 coming in the second half.
Outside perimeter play by Halliday. Jeremy Nodland in a lot of trouble, and Andrew LeClaire comes up with it. And here comes Mayport-CG's Andy Strand. Gets kind of caught in the moment, fell to the ground, and they're going to get called for a walking violation.
2 real good defensive series by Mayport-CG on the last 2 times down the court. They forced a couple of turnovers.
Masikovic back in the Patriot lineup.
They're getting a lot of pressure on the basketball, trying to double team the basketball at any opportunity.
Leidy. Nodland. Nodland with a nice fake, one-handed shot, no good. Swinson at the right place at the right time, and he doesn't get that one to fall, but he does get a foul.
Well, Swinson nearly converted. He actually had to alter that shot a little bit because defending on the play was Matt Swift, and he went up and had to alter the shot, as you will see coming up as he pounds the offensive boards right here. Lays it up with the one hand, but he gets a couple of free throws.
Well, free throws really pulled Halliday into this game in the second quarter, and it's proving to be somewhat of a factor right now in this 4th quarter. Doug Swinson has brought his Halliday Wolverines within 3. It's 45-42. 6:22 to go in this 4th quarter of the State B 3rd place game. Good touch shot by Doug Swinson, and he goes 2 for 2 from the line there. And we have a 2-point game. Jacobson penetrates right, and that's going to be a charge. No, a foul on Jeremy Nodland. I thought for sure that possibly would be a charge there just for the fact that that left arm came out, and that left arm came out, and he's a big guy. He's 6'4". There's that left arm, and Nodland certainly didn't have position.
And that's the 3rd foul on Nodland. Nobody else really in foul trouble at all for Halliday. The team fouls are even at 3 apiece.
Darren Claybo gets the ball for Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg. Inside the paint goes Jeremy Masakovic, and good play by Jeremy Masakovic.
His first field goal of the game.
He might be a little sick as well. They were saying that a couple of guys on the Mayport-CG team, of course, we mentioned Andrew LeClaire was a little bit sick today.
Masakovic came into the tournament not feeling well, as our camera person was on the receiving end of that collision. Masakovic practiced on Wednesday here at the Dome, and that was the first time he had practiced since the regional tournament.
Well, Chris Blossom was a victim of taking the eye off the ball, and Mayport-CG will get the ball back when we come back. It's 47-43, Mayport-CG, 5:41 to go. You're watching the State B on NBC. Jeremy Masakovic is hustling after the ball, and our photographer gets in the way, and boom, a big collision. Kareen not feeling too good, and she's doing okay, though. She's okay.
All right.
There you go. I'm okay. All right.
Jeremy Masakovic, meet Kareen, Meyer Television. She got blindsided.
Mayport-CG works it inside. Good shot by Jeremy Masakovic. And Masakovic has somewhat stepped it up here in the latter part of this fourth quarter. The early part of the fourth quarter. Morris. Nodland. Back to Morris. Morris steps up for three. No good. Big rebound again by Nodland. Nodland goes glass and two. Jeremy Nodland for two more. It's a 4-point game.
Jeremy Nodland has just been a demon on the boards. That's his 8th offensive rebound of the night. 11 rebounds overall.
Masakovic's shot's no good.
16, make that 17 offensive rebounds for Halliday. Big reason why they trail only by 4.
Luke Morris has been running the Halliday offense all year long. And Morris gets it back. Morris being tested on top. Pass inside to Swinson. Blocked in there by Andrew LeClaire, and LeClaire ends up with the ball. Mayport-CG up by 4, hoping to increase that lead. And they don't. Masakovic's shot is no good, and Halliday controls. So we have less than 4 minutes to go. It's a 4-point game. Halliday, not a good pass and not a nice decision. It looks like, I was going to say, Luke Morris went down with an ankle injury there. He's up, he's okay. Walking it off. Chris Geetson. Inside, almost a walk there. Swenson. Swenson is being hammered by some people. Luke Morris for 3. Count it! Luke Morris makes it a 1-point game. A big play by Luke Morris.
Mayport-CG the last couple times down the court had really been collapsing on Doug Swenson, and that will make them honor Luke Morris a little more. Look at him work defensively now. He's jacked after hitting that three-pointer.
And that'll do a lot for a team as well. Matt Swift off to Masakovic. Masakovic is coming to his own.
All 6 of his points coming in the fourth quarter.
Bo Nodland. Nodland over to Morris. Morris back to Nodland. Mayport-CG in a tight defense. Not letting Halliday penetrate, but that one's a penetrating mark by Nodland, but it gets knocked away, and Mayport-CG comes up big. a 3-point game, 2:23 to go. Mayport-CG leads by 3. Big block by Swinson. And what do we got, a jump ball? No, a foul.
Neither team near the bonus situation. That's just the 4th team foul on Mayport-CG. Jacobson, as we've seen him operate in the paint here in the second quarter, and he and Swinson collided on the play. The last time down the court, Halliday really spread its offense out in terms of trying to create some alleys, and they did. Bo Nodlin, though, turned it over when he tried to penetrate, and I think you'll see him try to spread it out again and create some alleys this time down the court.
Well, Bo Nodlin's doing a good job of penetrating and needs to protect the ball just a little bit more for Halliday. Nodlin, the starter. That's Luke Morris with the ball, and he's going to step up and hit the 3. It's good. Luke Morris has stepped up and hit 2 3-pointers, and we are tied at 51 all, less than 2 minutes to go.
We talked earlier in the game, he had not had a great tournament coming into this game, but he certainly has brought Halliday back with 2 3-pointers.
You want to say that might be over the back, but good position, and we have a jump ball. Possession arrow will go Mayport-CG. Del Kessler, the head coach for Mayport-CG. Del Kessler takes a timeout. He wants to think about this one. 1:35 to go. We got a barn burner. It's 51 all. Stick around for the conclusion of this third-place State B game. Okay, we are back at the Minot State Dome. Tied at 51 all, third-place game.
A huge crowd is gathering. You saw part of the tunnel there. Folks waiting to get what few seats remain and what will be a sold-out or near sellout at the Minot State Dome tonight for the final night of the State B.
Mayport-CG spreading it out, tied at 51 all.
Hey, same
reminiscence.
situation.
Yes, no doubt about that, Dan. Here we go, just like last night's game between Mayport-CG and Carrington.
If you missed it last night, Mayport-CG and Carrington tied at 52. Mayport-CG milked the clock, called a couple timeouts. They wanted to go for the last shot, and a pass was picked off, leading to Carrington's 2 free throws, and that sent them to the state championship game. So we have pretty much the identical situation as last night.
Well, and this is going to be a timeout by Halliday. So this does bring up that same situation, Dan, and Mayport-CG has the ball. Actually, Mayport-CG in the last, 1:30, I believe, took about 2 timeouts in that time. Let's listen in to Del Kessler.
What do you mean by call a screen?
If
You've got the ball. I don't know if you'll have enough room on that. You'll have it. It would be better to go to the top. But you call for a screen, but just let's keep the thing running and maybe run this, run that back door thing. Maybe do that.
Dave Steckler breaks his huddle.
Oh, I thought the Mayport-CG huddle was real interesting. It was decision by committee because the first part of the conversation, one of the Mayport-CG players was talking about what he thought Mayport-CG should try to run in the minute 5. Very loose huddle for a very young basketball team.
There you see the time, less than a minute to go. Mayport-CG with the ball. Swift to Jacobson. Jacobson penetrates and he loses control, and Swinson comes up with it. A big steal by Doug Swinson and company. And Jacobson not too happy. Well, they get across court, and Halliday takes a timeout. A big turnaround of events. We're tied at 51 all with 43.2 seconds.
Tom Jacobson found himself in some traffic there, put it on the floor, and wasn't able to maintain his dribble. And now Halliday looks at this as a one-possession game.
Special right here. But I want Doug out here. I want Doug starting right here. Jeremy Nodlin, right? Chris, and Luke, correct? All right. Ball's up in here. What happens? Doug pulls right? Don't go to the baseline with the ball, all right? Jeremy, Mika, come across the low block, all right? So here we are. Jeremy, Doug, Chris, Luke, and Chris, right? Ball's here. Don't go to the baseline. The ball's here. Come on, set a good pick for Doug. You come in. Look good. I'm right there, all right? Hey, also, protect the ball. Be patient. Defense.
Well, there you saw it on the chalkboard, and here we go. This actually would play right into Halliday's hands because Halliday is the type of team that likes to take their time and get the ball in, and you know you're going to get some pressure by Mayville-PCG, and they're bringing it on right now.
It's fun to be able to go inside that huddle, see the play drawn up, and now watch it unfold and see if Halliday can execute. They'll run a little time off first, though.
Nodland being double teamed, takes it inside the paint. He better get out of there. He's going to be called for three.
Well, one thing Dave Steckler said was don't take the ball to the baseline for the fear of getting double teamed, and that's exactly what they did, but they got away with it.
Oh, Nelly, we got a barn burner, 51 all.
All right, only on the zone, he exits the baseline. He's got the ball here. Not there. Jeremy's not there. Set the pick. Reverse it up on top. Cut through. He's there to give it the ball. All right, give it the ball. Yes, you got the shot. You take it.
Jeremy Nodland is going to get the call, everybody. We know, you know at home, that Mayport-CG does not know.
Well, Mayport-CG has fouls to give. They only have 14 fouls.
Less than 10 seconds. Halliday. Luke Morris with the ball, penetrates, shot. He's going to be fouled in the process. Foul on the play.
That's not the foul that Mayport-CG wanted to give because it was committed in the act of shooting, and Morris will go to the free throw line. The foul that they wanted was one prior to that in a non-shooting situation to stop the clock.
Luke Morris steps to the line, 2.1 seconds to go. It's 51 all in this third place game. Luke Morris bounces the ball a couple times, takes a couple deep breaths. Luke Morris has given Halliday a 1-point lead. And we have a timeout, Mayport-CG. Luke Morris steps up, hits the first of two free throws for the Halliday Wolverines. Luke Morris, the assist leader on the team, 10 points, 8 assists for the tournament. He needs to get more involved in the situation this evening and has. Into rodeo, Luke Morris is. He qualified for a national team roping event last October, and he said that getting involved in rodeo has certainly helped him out with the crowd situation, and we got a packed house on hand, although you may not be able to hear it that much just for the fact that, hey, these guys are waiting for this championship game, but we got a great third place game. There's Dave Steckler with a little bit more pressure off of him because of Luke Morris' free throw.
I got Chris going though. Jeremy, stay back. And I got Luke back, and I got Chris up on the bottom, and then Doug's in the middle. All right?
Gotta love those in the huddle shots that we're giving you.
Luke Morris has been the difference for Halliday in the fourth quarter. His three-pointer brought him within 49-48. Another three-pointer with 1:59 to play. Tied the game at 51. And he's just given Halliday a lead at 52-51.
Luke Morris for his second free throw. Mayport-CG has a little time. His shot's no good. Dan Swift picks up the ball, and it's a quick timeout by Mayport. Mayport-CG with exactly 1 second on the clock, and they trail by 1.
Well, Del Kessler is saying, wait a minute, how could 1.2 seconds go off the clock? Because there were 2.1 seconds when Morris attempted his free throw, and they're saying, how could that much time go off the clock in that short of time? And that's what they're talking about at the official scorers table.
Some more discussion.
Well, Merrill Strand was checking with the official to see where Mayport-CG would inbound the basketball from, because that's critical now. I mean, you've got 1 second, and a distance of a number of feet could be really critical in terms of what kind of shot you're going to get off at the buzzer.
We need other shooters. Hurry up, check in. You check in for Andrew. Hurry up. Shooter in the match, check in for Jeremy. Hurry up. We're going to set a pick here. We're going to run this guy down. We'll run a set pick here. Go this way. Yeah, use it. Okay. Well, it doesn't really make that much difference. We'll put Danny here. We'll just put Darren, you go here. Tom, you go here. Brian, here. Who else is it? Matt, you go right here. So we'll do this. Brian's going to release Tom this way. Darren, go down this way. Tom, after you pick him down the middle. And then Matt, after you pick him, keep coming down this side again. So we'll have either a long one to the middle, or down the side like that. Catch and shoot. Yep, got to catch and shoot.
Catch and shoot, that's what they're going to have to do. Halliday leads it by 1. 1 second to go. They got to come all the way down the court, Dan, and they got to catch it and make it, and they got to pull a Kristen Leitner out here.
Russell Archambault did it 1 week ago in the State A for Bismarck High. Can Mayport-CG repeat?
Swift will take the ball out. Best arm on the team. Gets it off to Matt Swift, and that's blocked by Swifton. And Halliday has come up with a third-place finish at the State B-Boys basketball tournament. And a great win for Dave Steckler, the head coach for the Halliday Wolverines. The Halliday Wolverines improved to 22-5, and that's how they'll end the year. Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg ends the year at 25-3. There you look at Doug Swinson. Doug Swinson, the big 6'8" senior for the Halliday Wolverines.
And if you're Mayport-CG, you got to be thinking, how did it happen again? Because as last night, they had possession of the basketball late in the game with the game tied at 51 and hoping to make it a one-possession game. They turn it over, and Halliday converts with the free throw. Let's go to John Cole.
You know, guys, you can always count on those rodeo kids to hang in there. Good going, Luke. You guys pulled this one out.
Yeah, thanks. I knew I had to step up, and I just stepped up and hit those key threes. And when they fouled me, I knew I had to make at least one.
You sure did. A lot of people didn't think you folks were going to be able to pull this one off against Mayville-Portland, but that's the wonderful aspect of sports. The games are decided on the court, aren't they?
Yeah, Mayville's a good team, but we came out here and we played our hearts out tonight. Everybody played well. We had times where we struggled, but all in all, it was a good game.
And this is a memory you'll never forget. Thank you so much, and thanks for the memories.
All right, thanks a lot.
You bet. All right, Brett Garland.
Thank you. Here with Tom Jacobson, and another great effort by your ball club. Just came up another point short. How much did last night's game take out some of your win tonight?
Well, I think a 2-point loss last night. We really wanted to win that ball game, and we had a chance to, but we really wanted to be in the championship tonight, and we were talking about it all day. We were down about it, and we didn't want to play for third place. We wanted to play for the championship, and I guess that's where the ball bounces. But
at the same
time, we could get out here and play in this state tournament.
Let me ask you this finally. You got to look back and think this is going to be a great experience for you guys. Most of you guys are coming back.
Yeah, it'll be a good experience for us, because then hopefully we do get back next year. But yes, we played hard and did all we could, and we wanted to get it this year, and it just didn't work out.
Keep your heads up. You guys had a great effort. Thanks a lot, Tom. We'll send it back to Dan and Bart.
All right, thank you very much, Brett. Tom Jacobson, not feeling too good after today's loss, and not feeling too good after yesterday's loss. But congratulations go out to Mayport-Clifford-Galesburg as they take fourth place honor. Of course, the Halliday Wolverines will take home the third place hardware. We will be back with more from the Minot State Dome right after this. State B basketball tournament.
For this third and fourth place game. To help with the presentation of awards are members of the North Dakota High School Activities Board of Directors. First of all, the president, the superintendent of schools from Ellendale, Mr. Kirk Hansen. The superintendent of schools from Towner, Mr. Larry Gagelman. Superintendent of schools from Tioga, Mr. Dave Rust. And the superintendent of schools from Center, Mr. Mike Ness. First of all, participation awards for the fourth place Mayport-CG Patriots. The cheerleaders, Marnie Lilleberg. Jody Broughton. Michelle Grandrud. Chastity Soho. Heidi Rude. Statistician, Amy Erickson. Rika Fugelberg. Rachel Lerfald. April Schultz. The players, number 10, Andy Strand. Number 12, Travis Kraft. Number 14, Brian Helverson. Number 22, Ben McClanahan. Number 24, Matt Swift. Number 30, Darren Claybo. Number 32, Steve Krzyzewski. Number 40, Jeremy Masakovic. Number 42, Chuck Claybo. Number 44, Andy LeClaire. Number 50, Tom Jacobson. And the lone senior, number 52, Dan Swift. And another player, Chad Hansen. For the third place, Halliday Wolverine. Cheerleaders, Jessica Gable. Sala Timonen. Jennifer Kuntz. Lene Bolton. Kara Christensen. Mascot, Jason Wall. Student assistants, Justin Hassauer. Brett Crawford. Heather Wolf. Jessica Crawford. Eric Gilgee. Players, number 4, Chad Ensel. Number 12, Bo Nodland. Number 21, Luke Morris. Number 23, Chris Leidy. Number 24, Dave Fisk. Number 30, Miles Shetler. Number 32, Dwight Sage. '34, Jeremy Farabee. '40, Doug Swenson. '42, Jeremy Nodland. '50, Chris Wassam. '52, Chris Geetson. And the coaches from Mayport, assistant coaches, Merle Strand. Wade Trudeau. Derek Nelson. Student assistant, John Ling. And the head coach of the Patriots, Del Kessler. For Halliday, assistant coach, Monty Mayer. And head coach, Dave Steckler. The team awards. This year's 4th place winner, Del Kessler's Mayport-CG Patriots. And our 1995 3rd place winners, Dave Steckler's Halliday Wolverines. Thank you.
We'll return with the American Dairy Player of the Game right after this from your local dairy farmer. The American Dairy Association's Player of the Game is Luke Morris of the Halliday Wolverines. He'll receive a certificate and a donation to Halliday High School from your local dairy farmers. Ice cold milk. Help yourself.
Ice cold is not what Luke Morris was in the 4th quarter. He hit the game-winning free throw with 2.1 seconds left. His three-pointer with 1:59 left tied the game at 51. Another three-pointer helped Halliday rally and get within a point. So Luke Morris with 2 key three-point field goals and the game-winning free throw.
Well, one thing that Halliday really wanted to do is, they came into this tournament placing 4th last year. Well, they wanted to come up with a little bit better hardware this year, and that they do. They take home that 3rd place honor this time. Congratulations go out to Halliday as well as Mayport-CG. We'll be back with the Parade of Champions here at the State B. You're watching the State B on NBC.
Suzuki motorcycle dealer now.